Assalamu alaikum. What is your advice and tips to attain strong reading habits for the students of now?
Tips on learning strong reading habits. Go back to the class that we did on Saturday night, first and foremost. Secondly is, you have to look at what Allah has already given you. Do you have an original passion for books? Are you a bookworm by nature? If you are, then there's a way that we can discuss it. If you're not a bookworm, I can't stand reading, I hate reading, then that's a different way that we have to approach it. So for someone who already loves to read books, not religious books, some people are just naturally readers. Just like some people are naturally fighters. Some people are naturally handsome, naturally pretty by nature, naturally charismatic. A person's nature. Everybody understand this? That's their personality. So if you love books, comic books, graphic novels, epic novels, newspapers, whatever type of reading that you like to do, how do you Islamify your reading? How do you maintain the natural passion that you have? And how do you grow and enhance even more? Everybody understand this? How do you turn that original passion into greater, stronger love of what? Of reading. Everybody understand this? First and foremost is you have to realize that time is short and knowledge is vast, rather endless. It's a sea that has no coast. So how many things that you haven't read of Islam? Seerah, tafsir, fiqh, aqidah, science of hadith, akhlaq, the list goes on. Even among hadith, how many books are there in hadith? Or how many times have you read one book of hadith? How many times have you read Sahih Bukhari? So I love to read books. I like to read books, but not religious books that much. You don't have the time to read those other books. Time is limited. Time is tight. And if you really want to be successful in your studies, you want to go somewhere in your studies, you want to make a difference, you're going to have to be very stingy with your time. And you have to transfer your original love for these type of novels until your love for the novel of Sahih Bukhari. Gradually, piece by piece. Not saying that it's haram to read a novel and you can't have no recreation. Because we're giving a talk on that as well, about recreating energy. We've spoken on that. But the general time is that most of the time has to be devoted to the religious books. Everybody got this? I love to read English, but I don't know Arabic. Arabic is the key. It's the golden key to that chest of treasure. If you don't have that golden key, no treasure, no gems, no jewels. So you have to spend your natural love and passion that you have, the raw energy for reading, into learning and reading what? Arabic. Once you have the natural passion, how do I keep it and how do I allow it to grow? By reading more things, reading diverse topics, which also strengthens your comprehension. The experts, they say, not even in Islam, non-Muslims, they say, if you want to have a stronger understanding, read different types of books. And also go out of your comfort zone. Read a book, a topic that you don't like. Read a book of someone that you don't like. Read about a people or religion that you don't like. And you force yourself to read it and understand it and objectively digest the book. And if I can do this with a book that I don't like, then what about a book that I do like and I do love? Everybody understand this? If I can read a difficult book, a burdensome book, how about a book that's simplified and made easy? I'm going to run through it. As you say, like a knife through cheese. Everybody understand this? You're going to cut right through it. Everybody got this? So these are some of the ways of enhancing the original natural love that you have for books. Also, having the concept of books are your most loyal friend. When you have no friends around, no man, no woman, no money, rainy day outside, the book never ever forsakes you. The book keeps you warm at night when you're cold. It keeps you happy when you're sad. The book can take you to another world, another time zone, another era, another generation, another climate. When it's cold outside, you read about tropical sands. Everybody understand this? When the people have lost their minds, the people are just drowning in nonsense and misguidance in 2017, you can read about Imam al-Bukhari. You can read about what this Imam did, how he lived, how he sacrificed, how he did this, how he saw it. Everybody understand this? And books and reading books, even religious books, books of hadith, it creates imagination. It creates creativity. It allows you to take what's there and to do what? Create your own. Just the other day I was in the store right across the street. I was going to buy something, I think some spring water. And me personally, to be honest with you, I normally don't read the newspapers. Not saying that it's haram. I'm just telling you, I don't personally. I really don't Okay, but sometimes if I'm walking to the store, I may look at what it says on the Daily News, the Inquirer, the New York Times, whatever. So I looked at the New York Times, and it had a picture of the President of the United States, President Obama, and it was talking about him leaving office and so on and so on and so forth. And it was a title that caught my mind, and it spoke on how he said that books and reading books was an integral part of his survival in the White House. When things were rough, things were bad, odds were against him, people dealt him an unfair deck of cards, all of the challenges in his presidency, he says, I found refuge and sanctuary in books, reading books. So I stopped and I picked up the paper and I kept reading, and it said how he said I would read the old and apply it to the new. I would read other men's stories, other great women's stories, what they did, and then I would shape it and form it and tailor it to me being the president of the United States. So obviously I bought the paper and I'm going to read the rest of the article. Everybody understand this? So this is a non-Muslim. Everybody understand this is not talking about hadith in Arabic, but it goes to show you the power and the benefit of books. And how books are your most trustworthy and loyal friend. When everyone else is against you, you can always do what? Read a good book. You'll benefit, you'll learn, you'll be reminded, and it will stimulate your mind. And that is what happens when you become a hadith disciple. You become lost in the world of hadith. He traveled here, he did this, he went to Baghdad, he read this, Imam al-Bukhari did this, he threw the coins in the water, you become amazed. And that amazement leads you to moving forward in your own studies. Where am I from Imam al-Bukhari? Am I carrying on the legacy of Imam al-Bukhari? And the list goes on. So these are some of the ways that you can enhance and build upon the natural love and passion that you have for what? For books, reading interesting books, reading the biographies of those great imams, reading the Quranic stories, the tafsir of the stories about the Arabic language, the sciences of the Lugha al-Arabiya. It's amazing, it's mind-boggling, spine-tingling, but you have to pick up the books. So my general advice is that you have your normal classes, you have your everyday lessons from time to time in your library. Just pick up a random book, volume 6, and just read it for 20 minutes. Then the next day, pick up a book down here, Qurtubi, and read it for an hour. And then the third day, you pick up another book about this, about that, economics, kala, and the same as English as well. And you get a taste for reading. You get an excitement. You can sift through things. You can understand things. You can appreciate different styles of writing. These are ways of what? Increasing your love for the original love that you already have. Everybody got this? Everybody understand this? Let alone the fact you may pick up a book that's boring. You may pick up a book that's bad, and it will allow you to appreciate and have more desire for a good book. Everybody understand this? As far as if you don't have the desire to read, like many people, unfortunately, if you want to torture a certain brother, give him a book. Some brothers will lie. You may be with them, they'll talk. I'm not talking about nobody specific, will lie. In general, they'll talk to death. They said, let's sit down and read Sahih Bukhari. I'm tired. I got a headache. We gotta go. I'm not that good. I can't read. Well, lie. It's like torture, like punishment to sit and read a book. Or you may be sitting down and you're traveling with the brother. You want to just read a book for a couple of minutes by yourself, quiet. And then so, everybody understand this? So some people, unfortunately, reading a book is like adab. It's like ta'veeb. It's like you're torturing them. And that's sad. So if that is you, which many people are like this, then you need to ask Allah to remove it from you. Sincerely ask Allah to allow you to remove this difficulty and this burden that you have with regards to books being your enemies. Books should be your friends, as we just what? Mentioned, improved. Books should be your friend, not your enemies. So first and foremost is to ask Allah to remove it. In the sujood, at nighttime, always pray and ask Allah, oh Allah, allow me to love reading. Oh Allah, allow me to buy books. Oh Allah, allow me to respect books, etc. Secondly is you need to hang around more people that like reading books, in which you ask him, how many books have you read? Or how many times have you read this book? And he says 20 times. Wala fakhr. I'm not showing off or boasting. I read this 20 times. I memorized this. I did this. Oh, I never even read a Surah Thalatha yet. I didn't memorize the 3 fundamental principles of Islam. I'm still in Jazama. And this person memorized the entire Quran. This person, he read Fath Bari 20 times. And I haven't read Sahih Bukhari once. So you're going to feel shy. You're going to feel embarrassed. And that is going to be a means of what? You being pushed and motivated to step your game up. To do what? To step your game up. There's a famous basketball player. I won't mention his name for several reasons. He is an NBA champion, MVP, NBA All-Star winner. The list goes on. He has several rings. And do you know in college he hated basketball? He didn't like basketball. He had the perfect size, perfect body build for basketball, for a specific position on the court. And he never liked it. He went to college. He never liked it until he met a specific coach, a specific trainer who saw his body, his ability. He's practiced another sport. And he got him and he molded him into a basketball player. And he became one of the greatest basketball players of the 20th century, of the 21st century. Do you think when he first picked up a basketball, stepped on a hardwood floor, he thought he would be this great MVP? Of course not, but he took a step. He took a chance. He had trust in the teacher, and he went on to reach greatness that no other player reached. And the same applies to Islam. Pick up the book. The book is not going to bite you. It's not going to hurt you. If you like reading things that are exciting, there are books that talk about excitement. The book is always better than the movie. Huh? The book is always what? Better than the movie. Because movies don't have budgets. Movies have budgets. The book is going to give you more detail. The book is going to make you use your own imagination for the character. What does he look like? What does she look like? How did he do that? The movie is giving you something. It's dumbing you down. Not saying that there's no benefit in a movie as well. Because there's some people who go extreme. There's education and life lessons, what? And films as well. Everybody understand this? So the point is you have to realize that Allah is the only one that can make you love the book. Secondly, hang around people who like books. Thirdly, realize that you can't go far unless you become one with books. You can study with the ulama, you can benefit from them, hear them, but you're not going to go far unless you have your nose in these books. So if you know that it's a necessity, force yourself to do it. Force yourself to learn it. Ask Allah to allow you to love it, and perhaps through that struggle, through that jihad, Allah will guide you. And Allah will open your breast, open up your heart to love a thing that you previously what? Hated. Everybody understand this? So these are just some points with regards to how to increase the love of books and of reading, etc. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala surely knows best. This will conclude our Q&A session tonight. Jazakumullahu khairan, wa barakallahu fikum, wa waffaqakum lima yuhibbuhu wa yarda. Wallahu alam.